everybody, it's Dr. Roz. This is our Pontification with a Pro series. Y'all, I am really excited to have Mattie Boswell here with us today. I received something in the mail. I went to University of North Georgia, and so I'm an alum from there, and our holiday card had the most beautiful picture of the president's house, and it was a painting, and at the time that I was in school there, it was actually the president's house, and the president's wife would allow us to come and have teas and events there. And she was so kind. She just taught me so much about hospitality. And so immediately I was transported back because this painting was so vivid. Well, then to find out that it was Mattie who drew it, and it's absolutely stunning, as well as because of Mattie's last name, I didn't realize until recently that I went to college with her mom. And obviously her mom is married and has a new last name. And so I wasn't making all of those connections until recently. So Mattie, just share a little bit about you and let's kick off this conversation.
Okay, well, I am currently in between the stage of like the junior and a senior at UNG. I am majoring in sociology with a minor in human services, and which of course my degree has changed quite a lot, as one usually does. But I guess we start from like the beginning. I've been just an artist since out of the womb. It has been just instilled in me from my grandmother, and it has just always been a incredible passion of mine. And probably around my freshman year, kind of right out of high school, my mom started posting some pictures of how I, was doing all these paintings. And it just blew up greater than I ever imagined.
Wow.
If you would have told me at like 17, 18 that I, would be making money off of my paintings, I would have gone, okay. But I've just been asked to do some really incredible things like the UNG alumni card, and that was the greatest honor. And I remember just the tears of just seeing it on a card, and I was like, this is real. this is real for me. And it's definitely something that I'm incredibly passionate about, and it's really just picked up more than I ever thought it would. So,
that's what I love about this series, is because oftentimes folks who don't realize that they have a passion or a hobby or something that is marketable, that is monetizable. And even if, and I'm not going to ask you your prices, but even if, let's just say that you made $50 from that, which sounds really low, right? But let's just assume it was that. Well, that could be a used textbook, or, several meals at, your favorite fast food or whatever. And so what I want my students to get in the mindset of is every single dollar that you earn, that you don't take a loan out for, that's something that you don't owe for. And so in terms of your trajectory, it's really important for that debt-free degree. So if you had some words of wisdom to give college students, really like yourself, because you're still in college, how would you encourage them to either monetize or step out? Like, what was the biggest obstacle? I need a website and how to market. Was the biggest obstacle I need confidence to be able to step out? Was the biggest obstacle I need to know how to allocate my time? Because if you're being asked all these, like, what is your biggest obstacle and what's your advice?
It was a good mixture of all of it.
Okay.
It was there was a huge like mental block of like, nobody, who's gonna buy these? And then they did, and it was a huge like confidence boost. And really it's you just gotta have faith that there is somebody that would want what you're creating or what you're doing and your services. They, there are people that would want that, and it's just having a faith that, your abilities can be put to good and can be put to a lot of benefit. Beautiful. And also it is a lot of time management.
Okay.
It is a lot of time management of, you really need to list out your priorities and figure out what is most important and what, can be pushed aside a little bit. Good. But it's a lot of a mixture of it.
So do you by any chance have a piece of art you could show us?
Well, I have this right here. It's a
Wow.
little bit different than what I usually sell. This was actually just like a personal piece that I created for my
Wow.
room.
Beautiful. Wow.
Thank
That
you.
that honestly, that looks like you bought it at Hobby Lobby or
Thank
Michael's
you.
or something. That is stunning. So do you mind sharing, like, do you sell like that particular one, that size? Do you sell those?
I do. It's really just by request. I've
Okay.
actually done a couple of these just from friends coming like to my apartment or family members seeing it and they're like, I want that.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's astounding. That's beautiful. So all your work, is it all custom?
hmm It
Okay.
is. It is most of yeah, the majority of it is custom. Usually it's people request like a house painting. I actually did one this past week of like my first home, like, and
Oh,
it's usually more architectural pieces. I do a couple of like people paintings and I also do like pet paintings and but the medium is usually like watercolor. So
okay. Okay. So is that behind you? Is that watercolor?
no, that is acrylic.
Okay. Okay.
No,
I'm,
it's
I'm
kind of a mixture, but just the majority is watercolor.
That's wonderful. That is
Thank you.
wonderful. So a little bit about you, Mattie, and if you don't want to share about this, then that's perfectly
Mhm.
fine. But can you tell me maybe a little bit about your debt-free degree journey? Are you on a path to graduate debt-free, or are you
Mhm.
accruing debt? And what is your plan in terms of that?
Okay. So when I was younger, my grandmother had passed away, and what she left to us was a little bit of money to start us off for college. And in no way would it, pay for our whole college, but it was a good head start. And I actually honor her in that way by I signed my paintings in Virginia, which I am named
Oh,
after her. So I kind of honor her through that way. But as we all know, money goes quick in college.
yeah.
So I, have picked up either part-time or full-time jobs kind of throughout, my journey. And so far I have no debt as a
Outstanding.
junior, which is really good. I did not think I would make it this far without debt, but I have. And the paintings and just kind of part-time jobs here and there have really helped. Like you said, a painting may cover, may even though it may not be like a super steady income, it may cover groceries for the week or, a portion of rent or stuff like that. And it is really helped. But yeah, so far I am debt free as a junior. So
That is outstanding. That is outstanding. I don't know if you know these statistics, Manny, but the
mhm,
average student loan debt with the bachelor's degree, so it may be after
mhm,
5 years because that's the average graduation rate. But the
mhm.
average student loan debt after a bachelor's degree is $75,000, and
Woo.
37% owe over six figures.
Mm,
And so that's why I'm on a mission to let people understand that mindset that a debt-free degree is entirely possible. Is it a lot of
mm.
sacrifice? Yes, absolutely. But guess what? If you're carrying 75 grand when you graduate, that's going to be a sacrifice.
Oh
So either
yeah.
way, you're going to sacrifice. Either way, you're going to put in the time. The
Mhm,
other thing that I talk about, I'm glad you brought up time management. And as I say with my students, time allocation, because
mhm,
it's basically like my business coach, we talk about our calendar is almost like one of those slide puzzles. So if you've got
mhm.
this chunk here and then something comes up, well, you can move this chunk over here, but it's really important to put in those bigger pieces first.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you work a full-time job, which I did
Mhm,
when I was in my undergrad, then 40 hours a week is 22% of your week. That leaves you
mhm,
78% of your hours still that you can go to school and study, etc. So there are just a lot of great ways that you can spend. We all have 168 hours a week, and how do we spend that most effectively?
mhm.
And then I don't know, Maddie, this might be again a little bit out there, but if you could think about what is your journey going to look like with you graduating debt free versus what would your professional journey look like if you knew you had to pay off $75,000?
Oh yeah. Um, Definitely. If I, had to graduate with a ton of debt, I feel like, you know, my first few years of having a professional or grown-up job would be, you know, one of my priorities would definitely be trying to pay that off. And I feel like that's such a burden to have to, you know, have paying off this huge sum of money as like such a huge priority when you should be worrying about, you know, paying bills, you know, a house mortgage, or, you know, starting a family. I feel like those should be the priorities. But when you have this huge sum of money hanging over your head, I feel like that can be, you know, such a terrifying burden.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know if are you dating anybody or
I am, yes, ma'am.
okay. So does he have any student loan debt?
He does not, no ma'am.
Okay. So that's the other thing that I'm running into with young
Mhm.
people is it's impacting who they're dating.
Mhm.
Because if somebody says, oh yeah, I've got, I will have 50, 60, $70,000 just on their own,
Mhm.
that can be a detriment to dating. If somebody says,
Yeah.
well, I'm not sure that I want to come alongside in that much debt.
Mhm.
And so that's also something to think about. So I definitely want folks to know how to reach out to you, both to buy your art, but also
Mhm.
just, to send you kudos or to share you with other people. So can you share with people how to get in touch with you?
Either, you know, social media is always an option. It's great. It's always an option. I don't mind people reaching out to like my phone number or my email. I really, anyway, is perfectly fine with me.
So your social media handle, is it all in Virginia?
It's I believe it is Mattie. Oh, I gotta look at it. I don't have it memorized. Let me see. It is Mattie.v Boswell.
Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, you have just been such a delight. I feel like I could just sit and talk to you for the next hour
Yeah,
because you are
oh yeah.
so amazing and I love your story. I love your
Thank you.
mama. I want you to know I haven't
She's an
seen
angel.
her in so long, but do tell her that I'm sending her a hug. And what an amazing lady she has raised. You're
Thank
just a
you.
delight. And thank you so much for being generous with our community and sharing your time and your expertise and letting us see a piece of your art. And we just appreciate you so much.
Thank you.